Welcome back to the Girl Cave. This video is going to be the third year that I've done my November gratitude project, and I wanted to share it with you. Let me show you step by step how I made my cute little prayer notebook. The first tip I'm going to give you is start with the end in mind. Think about the closure that you're going to use for your junk journal before you adhere any of the papers. You can use a regular paper clip to hold it shut. You can actually use the fun shape paper clips. I have several here. Or you could use a larger paper clip with some ribbon or fabric. You can also use brads with ribbon. This is a great use of those brads that we all have a large supply of. I have a little brad here, and then I covered the little prongs with another piece of paper so it doesn't get caught if I put anything in there. And then I tie ribbon to the bottom, and then I just use the ribbon to close my little book. There's that one. And then I had these little closures. It has adhesive and it had twine, so I used one, and then I have the twine wrapped around it to keep my little junk journal shut. So lots of different ways, but you want to think about that first so that if you have to punch holes or anything on your paper before you place it on the bag. Other than that, it's fair game. Let's go. The next step is a bit messy, and if you use this glue, maybe a little smelly. So you're gonna take your paper bag, and the first thing that we do is we're gonna run a little line of glue right here on the side of the bag to close that, and on this side of the bag to close it as well. And then on this little flap, I'm only going to do right here and right here, and I'm gonna leave this open so I can put a tiny little thing in there. You could shut it if you want, but it's always cute to have little surprise pockets, little hidden pockets. Just a thin bead of glue towards the edge, right there. And then I'm gonna do this side. And oh my goodness, this glue smells. It's like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. It's not bad, but if you're here all day working with this, like I am, then it can give you a little bit of a headache. So make sure that you have your fan on or a window open. And see, I'm only going to do a little bit of glue right there on the edges because I want to put a little tag in there. So only there. Now I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to fold it in 3, like that. Take the end and fold it right on itself. And this is where the brayer comes in handy. And then I'm going to take the open end of the bag and I'm going to bring it to the very edge so that it matches right there. And then I crease it and I use my brayer to make sure that it is nice and crisp. That's gonna make it close just a little bit better. So put some little elbow grease on there. Get rid of your anger. Okay, perfect. Now that I have that, I'm going to take my scraps of paper and find scraps of paper. They don't even have to match really. Just, just have fun with it. Always look at the size of your bags because paper bags vary in sizes. And if I give you my size and your paper bag is a little bit larger, then it's not going to work. So always check the measurement of your paper bag or use a ruler to measure. These that I got from the Dollar Tree, it says 40 pieces, and they are 5 1/8 by 3 1/8 by 10 5/8. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the large sizes. So 2 on this side and 2 on this side. And then of the small flap, I'm going to need 2 because I have the front and the back. And for me, these measure 3 by 5. Then you're going to pick your papers and make sure that you have 4 of the large pieces and then 2 of the small ones. I have more here. So I have lots of small ones and I have few of the large ones. I'm gonna pick this one as my front cover. And for that, I'm just going to use my glue and run a little bead around the edges. Not too close to the edge, because when we squeeze it, you know, it will run. And I might do a little bit in the middle, just a little bit. And then I place my paper. You could ink the edges. You could use, if you have like pinking shears, that would be cute as well. Just have fun with it. And this one is a little smaller, so I see a lot of the brown paper bag on the edge, but you know what? I'm fine with that. If you're not fine with that, then cut your papers just a little bit larger. Which one do I want here? I want that one there because it'll pick up from the blue right there. So I'm going to use it right here. I like the way that the little brown paper bag shows around the edge. I think it's cute. I could even ink the edges of the paper bag at this point. That would be cute too. This has to go here. And there are so many video tutorials on junk journals, using paper bags, using envelopes. There is just so much creativity and talent on YouTube that it is fantastic. Okay, oh, big decision. Do I want that or that? I'm gonna go with that because the scale is very similar, so that would bother me. So I'm gonna go with this one. So this is my third year doing the November Gratitude Project. A lot of people will post on social media every day what they are grateful for, and I love that. I think it's, you know, it's just a wonderful thing to be grateful for the tiniest of things. And not only that, but once you start thinking about what am I grateful for, it kind of changes your mindset, because we get caught in these negativity cycles where, oh my gosh, like your life is rushed and I'm so busy, and we focus more on the negative than on the positive. So November is a great time to focus on the positive. I don't post what I'm grateful for. I think I tend to be a very positive person and very grateful person. But in November, I like to show my gratitude to friends and family and neighbors and make something for them. I also send care packages, not just to my kids, but like the military as well, especially the young recruits that are going through basic training. And for this one, I'm going to push it as much as I can to this side, because here is where we are going to put our paper, and it creates a little bit of bulk there. I'm going to make sure that I push this as far as I can. It's okay if they touch, that's fine. Perfectly fine. And I think for this one, I am going to use my circle punch to create that little half moon. Make sure that you don't put the glue right there. So follow that half circle. Sometimes we get so caught up in our project and we are going on autopilot and we make mistakes, which is fine. But I'm just giving you a fair warning, because I think I did it once and I had to throw it away because then this was shut closed and I couldn't use it. It's a great little pocket to hide things there. So now that that's done, I'm going to use my circle punch just halfway. Doesn't have to be a lot. It could even be less. Just so that you can see right there that there is a pocket. Let me crease it one more time. All right, so now I'm ready to put my papers in, and I've got my sheets of paper. I have 7 pieces of paper, and I have this beautiful scrapbook paper, which is one-sided. So the white side I'm going to place in so that when I fold them in half, that's the first sheet that I'm going to see. So I'm going to put them like this, and they don't have to be exactly the same size, because you know that when we fold paper, the edges, the ones in the middle, protrude just a little bit more. Remember, this is a junk journal. It should look like it's handmade. So these are my papers. I chose that scrapbook paper. I have that paper that I got from that Dollar Tree journal. I have ledger paper. I have scrapbook paper that was 8.5 by 11. So it has the pumpkin on one edge. Then I have regular notebook paper. Put the little holes there. And then I have that computer letter paper in the middle with the kids. Okay, so now I have them in half, and I'm going to place them right here. And this is when these little things come in super handy, because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them right there in the middle. I'm going to open them, and I'm going to hold them. I want to hold both sides down. So I'm going to do that. Move this one just a little bit more, and then place 2 at the bottom. You really don't need to do the ones on the bottom, but you can never be too cautious, right? And then I'm going to flip it, because I want to make sure that when I punch the holes, that it goes right through that middle. I don't want it coming out this way or that way. And again, if you make a mistake, it's fine. People are still going to love the gift that you made for them. And I'm going to use my crocodile. You could measure if you want, so that you know that they are equally distant. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to use regular twine. You can do 2 things. You can tie your string on the outside, or you can tie it on the inside. I think I like it on the inside. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go from the outside and thread it. You could use a chenille needle to do this, or you could just do it by hand. And then leave yourself enough twine so that you can tie a little bow. I'm going to cut it right here. And then thread this side. So don't let go of these clamps until you have it secured. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit difficult to wrangle your papers and make sure that they are where they need to be. Here I go. And then I'm just going to do a little square knot, kind of like when you are tying your shoes. And then a little bow. Look at that. Isn't that cute? This is a little too long, so I'm going to cut it just a little bit. And now I can take these off. And all that is left is to decorate the inside however you want. So I'm going to show you my finished one. So this one I use regular, like rough twine, like twine, like rough, yeah. So I had a little piece of scrap paper, just very, very tiny, and I glued it right here, and I put a little stickers and what's on your mind. And then I have in the pocket, I have a little tag with a sticker that says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And if I want, I could write an actual prayer there. That goes in here. And I like to leave the ribbon showing so that, you know. Then I use a tiny piece of paper that I had that was from like a card kit, and I don't make cards. And then it had this there, so like a frame. So I glued it only here and here. So this is open. And I placed a journaling card there with a little sticker that says grace. And that right there could be another prayer. For my notebook, I put a little piece of washi there. I use my heart punch and I punched little hearts at the bottom. This one I included a little sticker. It says planted in my faith. So you could do stickers if you wanted to. I wouldn't do anything with a lot of bulk because, you know, then it gets hard to close. I have another piece of washi just torn on the edge. Here I put, this came with that. So I have that there. Isn't that cute? With a little butterfly and a little sticker. This is just a torn piece of scrap. So these tiny little pieces of paper, once you cut your pages, don't throw them away. Even if you have paper that has bent and you think it's unusable, just tear it. That's torn edges of paper, just to give some color right there. A little piece of washi there. In the middle, I put this little piece of scrap paper, and when you trim the papers that you're going to use, you're going to end up with a lot of these tiny little pieces. This is what's called a belly band. So I only glued this part, and then I have another little tag with a sticker that says, all I need today is a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. And again, you could put another prayer on the back. Just put it there. You could put some twine if you wanted to, or ribbon. Here I have this little pad of note paper. They're not really sticky notes because they don't have an adhesive on the back. But I cut off 3 or 4 and I placed them here. So what I did was I glued on the back just a little piece of paper. And then I put this right there. I only put glue right on this part of the clip. And this is actually a stamp. So I stamped this image and then I colored it in. I put a dot of adhesive right there. This side is not put down. And then I just put a little bit of glue on the back of the last paper on that edge. And I glued it to this paper right here. So when these papers have been used up, I could put another set of 3 in there. In here, remember that tiny little flap? Look, I have a tiny little tag in there that says let your light shine, and it has a sticker and a little bit of washi at the bottom. Again, another spot to put another prayer. And if you leave the twine hanging, people will realize that there's something in there. On the back side, I don't know if you remember these little booklets that they used to sell. They were like journaling paper, but look, it's super, super thin. They're like tags. And I just put a little sticker there that says prayer. And then I had this piece of scrap right here that I don't even know. I think it's basic gray. It looks like a basic gray. I just had that. And I put adhesive only on the edges. Did I put it on the bottom? Yes. So only on the edges and the bottom. And then I put a little sticker and a felt flower. And I'm going to put this right there. So I could put a little prayer in there. And that is it. Put a little sticker on the back that says keep calm and pray on. And then for this one, I'm going to use a regular paper clip. I'll show you this one that I have. This one I have yet to decorate the pages. So that's, and look at this. This piece of scrap of paper was torn. Again, they don't have to be completely 5x7. I think torn edges just add a little bit of dimension and texture to it, and it just looks pretty. Looks very, very pretty. So now I'm going to decorate it, add some stickers, maybe use my punches on the edges. I don't know. I'm going to play with this one. And then add a lap band here, maybe a little corner piece to hide something. add my little tags in here and another one in here. Hide some stuff in there. And this is the fun parts. So what I've done is I've been creating these by stages. So I've glued all of my bags and I've creased them and then placed them under a heavy book so they are easy to close. Then I cut all of my papers. I have a few here. And I start picking the ones that I want to use together. So remember, 4 large and 2 small. Once I have the papers, then I do my writing sheets. And then the last thing that I do is decorate them. I like to do the assembly style because it just goes a little faster. It's less thinking. If you do one at a time, like there's a lot of thought process. Like you have to think about the whole thing rather than just automatically doing the same thing over and over and over. It just goes by a little faster, I think. I am so grateful, not just for my friends and family and my neighbors and my coworkers and my students, but I am also very grateful for you for supporting my channel, for playing along with me in the Through the Rainbow year-long challenge. I'm so grateful to you. And to show my appreciation, just like in my previous 2 years, I am going to give away one of my junk journals. You can use them as a prayer journal. You can use it as a junk journal. And if you would like the opportunity to win one of these, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Give this video a like and leave me a comment below telling me what are you grateful for this season. Thank you so much for being part of my community. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are alerted every time that I post a video. And you definitely don't want to miss when I announce the winner of this junk journal. Come back again next week. Bye.